And good evening. It's 6:15 Tuesday evening. This is day 2 of my 5-day water fast and just starting to really feel the ketones. It's amazing how you feel when the ketones start to rise. Although my earlier readings today didn't seem like they were doing anything like they should, but I still feel really good with what's going on right now. So this morning here, let me put this on here. This is my blood sugar readings this morning, 4:35. I was already up, took my shower, and realized I hadn't checked it, so I wanted to look at that real quick just to see where my uh, blood sugars were. And then when I got to work, I did my ketones. They're at a point 0.9. My glucose was at 90 at that time, so I came out with a 5.5 for a GKI, which isn't bad. Could be better. Could have been a lot worse. I could have had ketones at a point 2 like I did on Saturday, which would have drove me nuts. Good evening, Brian. So right now I've got I'm just over 48 hours into this fast. It was taken at the top of the hour with 71 hours and 57 minutes left. Again, I was at the top of the hour and just feeling good tonight. Hey, Amy, it's nice to see you here. I just left your live with Christy, playing around in here, doing setting stuff up in here, and I lose track of time because I start listening to you guys. And so, where have I been on my carnivore diet? Well, I've had, but this last couple of months, I've had ups and downs for my weight. I know that, and that's one of the reasons I've started getting a little more strict with what I'm eating. My wife and I have been experimenting with different foods that aren't completely carnivore. Keto bricks. That's one of the things. It's they're not bad. They didn't affect my blood sugars. They didn't affect my wife's blood sugars very much. They did once in a while. They would, but nothing bad. And you know, we just we want to try some different stuff. Well, what it did affect my weight. Well, popcorn. We both like popcorn. Going to the hockey games. Thank God, hockey season for us is over. We don't go to the hockey games, and the popcorn was something that we ate, yeah, which isn't good. Rachel, hello, yo, how are you? Brian, 89 for blood glucose and 2.6 with your ketones. You drank coffee late, and we'll have to see how it goes tomorrow morning. All right. And you have a question. Why am I bald? Because it's what I like. God only made a few perfect heads. The rest he put hair on. That's the reason why. Vegas Golden Knights, Amy. I've been a fan of the Knights since they started. I also like the Penguins, but they got rid of Fleury. Hence, I'm a Golden Knights fan. Oh, I thought they did uh, Fleury dirty when they got rid of him. So I went to become a Golden Knights fan, and I've watched the Golden Knights since they started. What a run they had their first year. It's amazing. But Amos says, no way, your team is the Golden Knights too. I'll have to wear my Golden Knights shirt on Sunday. My wife brought me my Golden Knights hoodie to work. I left it at work because I got cold. So I got a Golden Knights hoodie. Hold on one second here. Let me show you this. Yeah. Mason Morelli played for the Minot Minotauros. That's my home team here in the NAHL, North American Hockey League. And he went on to college and he went to play for the Hershey Bears. And after the Hershey Bears won the Calder Cup, the Vegas Golden Knights signed him to a contract. And I can't remember if it's 2024 or 2023 that he actually played on the ice with the Golden Knights, and that was his number 11. Now, our last two home games, Mason was back in Minot. His brother plays for our team now. And the first night he was there, I was like, damn, I should have worn my jersey. So the second night I wore my jersey, and then I did run into him on the concourse, and I got him to sign it and autograph it. So that was pretty cool. But yeah, I like hockey. I'm a big hockey fan. Carolina Carnivore, how you doing? It's nice to see you here tonight. How's it going? He says I was in Vegas when they were playing the Stanley. Yeah, man, I wish I could have been there for that. You didn't get to see him go through that though. John, Together Strong. Hello, how are you doing, sir? So nice to see you here today. Yeah, and I got it signed by Mason, so that was pretty cool. He's a nice guy. Still really down to earth. He was actually playing in Europe this year. Brian saying hi. St. Louis Blues is your second favorite team. I'd still have to go with the Penguins for mine. But my son likes the Minnesota Wild. His girlfriend likes the Florida Panthers. And we all just like Canadian teams. So that's what really counts. So the purpose of tonight is for what I'm doing here is doing accountability for my fast. And one of the things that I was starting to say earlier is I got sidetracked a little bit with my carnivore diet, trying different things so that my wife and I could, just experiment a little bit. Now we didn't go off the rails. My lowest weight I've ever been to in the last 30 years is 205 pounds, and I got to that the first week of February. Since then, I have not been the strictest on my diet and trying different things like eating popcorn, which I shouldn't do, keto bricks, which unfortunately are really good, but they don't work well on me because I gain weight on them. Even eating just little pieces of them for a treat, once every couple of days had effects for weight gain for me. So what happened yesterday morning, I stepped on my scale. I was 225 pounds. I'm up 20 pounds from my latest. Now, if you know anything about fasting, you're going to lose a lot of water weight. And I did. This morning, I was down 6 pounds. I was down 6 pounds. I was down to 219 pounds this morning. So I know it's water weight, and I know it's shedding a lot of water because that's what happens. Especially when you first start a fast, the first 24 hours, you stop your digestion goes through everything. Your body goes through all that. But from your 24 to 48 hour, that's where the real switch happens. That's where you start to get into the deeper ketones, the enhanced repair, and the fat adaptation to where your body is burning the fat for energy. And your glycogen is gone. Your fat becomes the primary fuel for the ketones. Your autophagy ramps up. People worry about losing muscle mass when you're fasting. I think what they really need to think about is your body's not attacking healthy cells when you're fasting and autophagy kicks in, your body is using damaged cells. It's getting rid of parts of your body that are damaged and shouldn't be there anyway. So it's not hurting your good cells. It's not hurting your good muscle. If you got something that's damaged, that's what your body uses for energy after that. Brian said he only had one can and a couple of eggs, just not hungry the last couple of days, right? Because you added eggs into your sardine fast. So it's still going good though. I mean, how many days are you into it now? You got to be getting close to your 21 days, right? Maybe saying hi to John and Brian. So, but there's also some hormonal changes that go on to your human growth hormone starts to preserve your lean muscle, um, and it mobilizes the fat. Your insulin should be staying low when you're, the 24, 48 hours into your fast. In your stress hormones, some people think that your stress hormones go up. I don't know if it does or not. I'd have to test it for sure, but I haven't tested stuff like that when I'm doing it. I just know that like my inflammation goes way down. I had a chiropractor appointment today, and my chiropractor was actually impressed at how well my body adjusted today. And I think a lot of that had to do with being at 40 whatever hours it was into my fast when I saw him, because it really did. My body really did good on the adjustments. But at this point, for 24 to 48 hours, the reduction in inflammation, your digestive system starts to rest, uh, your possible blood pressure drop, heart rate variability shifts. If you pay attention to your heart rate variability, my Fitbit measures that, and I can see it change when I'm doing my fasting too. So some stuff, a lot of good stuff happens when you're catching into this uh, 2 to 3 day part of your fast. Um, Hunger, well, my hunger hasn't been here since yesterday. Yesterday afternoon, probably 1, 2 o'clock in the afternoon is when my hunger actually went away, and I felt great after that. Jiffy, how are you today? Just getting here. Your best friend of 32 years turned 68 today, and you're in Huckleberry. If you know, you know. Awesome. And you're her Huckleberry. I gotcha. Little Doc Holiday action right there. 16 days sardine fast, and now you've added eggs into it. That's right. I knew the other day when you'd said 13, but I couldn't remember how many days ago that was. It's one of those wonderful days, isn't it? Brian saying hi. Aaron, go Sabres. Just about game time. That it is. Yeah, the games actually, have they started yet? Or the puck drop at 6:30 or something like that, isn't that? I know the Knights won last night, so they get to continue playing. They almost got eliminated by the that Utah team. Yeah, I liked it better when they were called the Hockey Club. John Together Strong on my 20-day fasting. When I do them, my cortisol or your cortisol all don't go up unless you exercise during the fast. And that's what I was thinking is if I'm not exercising or doing anything, strenuous, I don't know. I didn't think my cortisol would be going up, and I feel so much better. Like today, just at work, there's stressful stuff going on. It's work, you know what I mean? And I just seem to handle it so much better carnivore diet. And then when I'm fasting, like at this point, I just feel so much better. It's just amazing what how you feel when you're at this point. Let's see, Aaron got a chance to watch a couple of your videos. Oh, you went over to Aaron's channel and checked it out. That's awesome. Oh, you had to go back and look and see how many days yourself. Yeah, that's for me. It's actually pretty easy to figure that out. I got an app on my phone I use for when I do stuff like this here. Um, like the countdown app I have for this fast, and you can set how many days you want or how many hours. So it makes a big difference. It helps keeping track of it. But some of the key benefits of your fast when you get to the 24 to 48 hour mark is fat loss and improved metabolic flexibility. Uh, it's not all water weight that you're losing now. That first 24 hours or so, you do lose a lot of water weight. Um, Now, depending upon where you look and uh, where you're reading at, you can lose anywhere from a half a pound to like a pound and a half of fat from now until my end of my fast in 5 days. I can actually lose fat. I'm still going to lose some water, but not nearly as much anymore. Insulin sensitivity and lower blood sugar insulin happens when you're doing this at this point. Oh, I'm just talking. So, but I'm also reading off my laptop over here. So I can do what I want. That's the way it works. Cellular repair by autophagy is happening right now. The potential for mental clarity rises quickly at this point, and your gut really does rest. And those of us who eat this way do know that your gut and your brain talk to each other, and your gut really has a lot to say in how you feel and how your body reacts to a lot of stuff. But I just looking for accountability to see how everybody else is doing on here. Um, I know Amy, you don't do a whole lot of fasting, right? So, but you were talking. Where did I hear you talking about that you were thinking about wanting to do more fasting? No, that was your live stream the other night, wasn't it? That was Sunday night's live stream that you were doing. I'm actually gonna check my ketones right here, see what they are. I haven't checked it this afternoon, but this morning again, my ketones were at zero point 0.9. They weren't up that high, and like right now, it's 1.9. So it's right about that 2 mark. It was a little bit higher yesterday, but that was earlier in the afternoon too. I seems like 4 o'clock in the afternoon is where my ketones get the highest, and then once I get home from work and stuff, it just never goes back up. It comes down. So see, Carolina Carnivore says about every 90 days or so, you'll do a 72-hour fast. That's 72-hour fasts are one of my favorite fasts to do. They're quick. They're not that hard to do, and you get a lot of benefit out of them. Um, this past winter in December, I was doing alternate day fasting. I was going 36 hours in between eating, and then at was it January, I did 60-hour alternate day fast. So going 60 hours, I'd eat for 12 and do another 60 hours. And those are really good. I tried doing back to back 72-hour fast, but that's just a little too long for me right there. Amy says I did intermittent fasting, but you struggle, yeah, a little bit in multi-day fasting. Remember how you said it took 18 months to lose weight and not be hungry? You're in month 10. Yeah. Well, I lost I lost a lot of weight. What I didn't have, Amy, is I didn't have the leptin signal. So, like what you're going through, and I've heard you talk about this, where you can eat and you don't really get full. That's where I was for the first 18 months on this diet. It wasn't until I finished my 7-day fast, like a few days after that, when I was eating, I'm like, holy cow, the whole taste of my steak changed. I went from mowing down a delicious ribeye and shrimp to tasting like just didn't have a taste. And I was like, I finally got the signal. The signal that says, hey, you don't need any more, which was amazing. Actually, I think I have that picture right here too. Brian said last night when you were talking, you didn't know how much. One second here, my screen screwed up. You didn't know how much you heard before you froze up. The crazy thing, the guy reached out to do, and I was able to talk with him for an hour. Life is a wonderful blessing. Yes, it is. You started talking about an ethical question, and you said an ethical question, and then you froze. And I was like, well, that's not good. But that's basically all I heard on that was where you're asking about the ethical question. Where did it go? There it is. I want to show this picture right here. This steak and shrimp right here. That was actually a pretty dang big ribeye too. I think well, it might have been 20-ounce ribeye. Man, that thing was delicious. And that shrimp was so good. And I got about halfway done with that steak and about half the shrimp gone, and all of a sudden the flavor just changed. It no longer tasted the same. This is what I had left of it, and I just couldn't eat anymore. And I was just like, "That's amazing." It was amazing to be able to get that signal for the first time, and I there are still times where I don't get it, but it was amazing. Yeah, Amy, fasting is it's a tricky animal to get into, and once you get into it, though, it has some amazing benefits. Jiffy says the most I have done is 48 hours, and it was hard. The first time I did a fast, it was like 48 hours, and it was because I was full. I wasn't hungry. I didn't have the ghrelin signal didn't come around, so I just decided one night not to eat because it didn't sound good. Now Brian says he absolutely love fasting. 21 is going great. 21 is nothing new. Yeah, I haven't gone past 7 days, so one of these days, maybe when it gets a little bit warmer out, because it's still cold here, and the cold still is affecting me, and it's terrible. When my hands get all cold and crap, I don't like it. You don't have leptin signal either, but you have a ton of ghrelin. And for me, the fattier meats um, helped out tremendously. Um, the ribeye, the ground beef, and then just eating butter at times helps out tremendously for me. And the organic heavy whipping cream making Kilt's ice cream. Kilt's ice cream right now, if I were to eat just a pint of Kilt's ice cream, I'd be full for the whole day. It would not be good. And I can do it. That ribeye was delicious, but halfway through it, it no longer tasted good, which was amazing. Let's see. Carolina Carnivore said yesterday went to Olive Garden, ordered 3 sirloins and 3 orders of shrimp. It was perfect. Only seared my steak with only real butter. He put salt on everything at the table. That's actually really cool that they did that. But you had 3 sirloins and 3 orders of shrimp? That's amazing. I like to go to Longhorn and get their steaks. They've got the Longhorn, which is a porterhouse steak, and it's like 33 ounces or whatever. I like that. But I also like their ribeyes that they have. They're pretty good too. Let's see. Brian says, I talked for a while. He has Parkinson's. I did not know how to broach the subject with him. Did not want to make him mad or hurt his feelings, but today he reached out. Are you talking to him about the ketogenic or carnivore diet for Parkinson's? Because there's some really good research that's been done with that and helping people with that. Not doctors, not medical advice, but you can search it and look it up online. Um, if you want to look at AI, you got to preface it so that it looks for a ketogenic style diet with no plants to help something like that because it does work. And there's a lot of people that have put stuff out there that shows that it does work. Yeah. Jiffy saying that had the same issue. You look up Gremlin. Yeah. Ghrelin is a monster just like a gremlin that makes you hungry. So you had a great conversation about carnivore. Yeah. This will help him and he's a good guy. I hope it helps him because there are so many things that this standard American diet has done and hurt so many people. It's just amazing what you can do when you eat properly. Brian says a pint of ice cream would lead to danger pants. Yes, it would. That could happen, especially if you're trying to break a fast with it. Jeffy, yes, gremlin, lol. Thank you so much. Amy says Longhorn and Saltgrass are your favorite steakhouses. Never heard of Saltgrass, but yeah, I do like the Longhorn here because when I order my steaks, I order just the steaks, no side. And the last couple times, I didn't even tell them not to put any seasoning in it, but they didn't season it, and it came out perfect. And even the shrimp I got when I get the shrimp there, they haven't been seasoning it as much as they normally would. So that's actually been pretty good. Carolina says my appetite was strong yesterday after farmers carry up 600 yards with 160 pounds. Got to move more heavy stuff for strength as we age. Yes, it does help. I don't like exercise, so it's one of the things I don't really like to do. I do like to push my luck. My wife tells me that that doesn't count. Jiffy's going to look it up. John is saying hi to Jiffy. Yeah, there's a lot of testimonies. Right, Mimi. I couldn't think of who it was. She has an amazing story. If you don't know who Mimi is, I don't know social media that she's on other than X. I know she posts a lot on X, and she's got a great channel there, and she has some great information. She has a great story too. Danger Pants. Got to tell folks at Longhorn not to put that love sauce and crappy seasoning and margarine off. Yeah, and that's when they bring the butter with the shrimp. You just look at it and you're like, yeah, that's not real butter. Let's see. Brian says all the wonderful people I have met on this journey has made it well worth it. Shine and helping and getting the word out is the greatest thing ever. And hence it's one of the reasons why I will do stuff like this here, where I'll do videos, I'll do lives. Um, I go into other people's lives and share information that I've learned. You know, tonight again. Well, he didn't come on again last night till 7:55, so maybe 7:30. He keeps saying 7:30 he's gonna be on. That's Jerome from Finally Fasting. He keeps saying he'll be on at 7:30, but he keeps coming on later and later. Brian says, if you push my luck with the missus, maybe the strongest man on the planet. Yep. And that is, you got to push your luck at some time, though, right? But now, when I get done with this, my wife and I got to run to the store. I ran out of coffee at work. I still drink coffee and I still have a carnivore card, so you can do that. But when I get back from there, I took this out last night. I've got one more still in the freezer. We had a sale here back in January where local store had rib roast for $9.99 a pound, $10 a pound, basically. I was able to pick up two of them, and one was 20 pounds and one was 19 pounds. So, yeah. But I already had the freezer full of them. So I took this one out. This is going to be cut up here tonight. It's thawed out finally. Probably going to throw it in the freezer for another hour again just to get it stiff. Makes cutting them so much easier. Let's see. That's one of the things I do like to do. You can make this way of eating as cheap as you can if you are open to doing stuff like this. I cut my own rib roast into ribeyes. I leave the fat on, and the majority of the fat that's on here, like those tips, that's all fat. Some of it is edible, some of it's not. It's really hard on some of it, but most of that you can eat, and that's where I get my extra fat. I absolutely love it. The stuff that is too hard to eat, I'll actually throw back in the freezer and then run it through the meat grinder later and render some beef fat from it. So, but I just wanted to come on tonight. A little bit of the fasting. Again, my ketones were at, what was that, 1.9 earlier? I can never get this thing to pull up my history. It just never wants to work that way for me. I don't know why. I've done it once in a while, but no, that's not what I want. Yeah, go figure. It's just me screwing stuff up on it now. Beeps off. Yeah, don't do alarms. Nope. So, yep. Well, that way, 1.9 for my ketones. Again, right before I started my live stream, my phone just did it again. Yesterday, it restarted on me when I was doing the live stream. And my glucose right now, is at 80. So a 1.9 and 80 gives me right about I don't know what the GKI would be, but my Dr. Boz ratio would be like 45. So that's not bad. It's not a bad ratio for 48 hours into a fast. And so I was talking about this just a minute ago. Jerome from Finally Fasting, he may be doing it live on YouTube or he may be doing it as Patron, but Finally Fasting, this is his QR code for his YouTube channel. This is one of the groups that I'm a part of for fasting. They're not a carnivore group. We have all kinds of people in this group that Jerome has, and it's just a support group for people who want to fast and who want to learn how to fast. So if you guys are interested in doing that, uh, sometime between 7:30 and 7:55 is generally when he's been going live. Give him a look, and with that, I'm gonna head out for the night. Gonna try one more thing here. Media. Hey, is John? Are you still in here, John? John Together Strong was in here just a minute ago. Yeah, I don't see him in here. John, if you're in here, I'm going to play a song that John wrote. It's actually a pretty cool song. I'm playing a song.
Running hard 6 days a week, trying to fix what I couldn't see. Eating clean, playing my part, still something breaking inside my heart. I was doing everything right, and everything kept getting worse. Following every line they drew, still ended up in reverse.
John hasn't played.
Each one telling me what to think. Said give it time, you'll be okay. But I kept drifting further away. I was doing everything right, and everything kept getting worse. Gave them everything I had, still couldn't break that curse. Then one day I just let it go. Stopped chasing what I didn't know. Took one step, changed one thing, turned my back on everything. This is my why. North Dakota carnivore changed my life. Kept it simple, stripped it down, turned it all the way around. Lost the weight, cleared my mind, left that old road far behind. What I found was something true, did it myself, and so can you.
So I love that song. If you listen to the words to that, that song is my story that John created that. Absolutely love it. It is an honor to have somebody like John do something like that. I thank you very much, John. With that, I'm going to tell you all good night, and I'll be back tomorrow, same time, same channels, talking about the same thing.